Well, I think, good a time for us to start is better, better late than never. Welcome to the show. While politicians are out there busy in Ekiti State talking about what it is to come, 5 days from now, specifically 4 days from now, I think, when the campaigns and everything will be done and dusted, we're right here. Welcome to Political Stew. Well, we decided to leave the political kitchen and come out, to see what we really can dig up and find. And today, what better moment for us to look at so many of the national issues. I'm Sulaiman Alede, and joining me on the show today is Senator Ali Ndume. He's the senator representing Borno South Senatorial District. Good to have you join us this evening on the show.
Thank you, Suleiman, and good evening, viewers.
Yeah, well, we know we've lost some good time, but again, we are looking at the moment and what exactly a lot of people can have in terms of political and national readings. Now, let's start by looking at your state,
Borno State.
Borno State. Many, would have thought that so much news would have been coming out of Borno State better than what we're getting now. To start with, are you satisfied looking at what we have seen before and what is going on at the moment in terms of the fight against Boko Haram?
Well, this is a very difficult question because I look at it in two different ways. If you say you're satisfied, it means everything is back to normal. But we are happy that the government of the day is serious about taking on the insurgents. And let me say here authoritatively that the Boko Haram has been defeated. But that is not to say that Boko Haram has been eliminated. So you have pockets of black spots, particularly two dangerous ones that are still existing. And now Boko Haram is not resorting to conquering a local government or town or taking over a town, but they are concentrating on targeting on soft spots and especially suicide bombing. So for us in Borno State particularly and in Northeast in general, we are happy with what the security agencies or the forces on ground are doing, but of course it's not over yet, and so therefore we expect them to do more so that it's going to be difficult for us to get back to where we were because so much damage has been done, estimated damage of over 9 billion. And that translates to over 2.7 trillion in Naira terms. So it's a very huge damage. But we thank God for where we are today.
When you talk about damage, one of the things, honestly, that comes to mind is that I don't think my viewer out there will forgive me if I don't bring this, and it has to do with some other issues that were raised at that point in time. I still could remember vividly you were accused of sponsoring Boko Haram. It's good to think that you have a smile on your face because we saw you submitted yourself, to the law when that accusation came out. How did you feel, to start with, when the news that Senator Ali Ndume was a big-time sponsor of Boko Haram?
Well, let me take you briefly as a kind of recap on what happened, because it has been history now. It's for over 6 years. It happened that I was very vocal, myself and late Senator Ahmed Zanna were the two senators from there, and we were with Bena Majiden, who was more experienced than us and playing safe. But the two of us were, because we are there with the people, we see what's going on.
And you were younger then?
Yeah, I was younger then, and it's my nature anyway to say the truth, even if it will cost me anything. And I was telling the government, but then unfortunately, even the top government, including the president then, were not looking at it as a problem to Nigeria. It's as a problem to a certain group of people or sect. Like it's a Borno State problem, or people that are involved are the ones that are being killed initially. And it's like a cancer. Then it started spreading. And when you are I have been saying that when you are diagnosed of cancer or a lump, that you suspect does not react to medication, then it's better you remove that tumor than to allow it spread over your body. So the government was busy. Instead of trying to find solution to it, they were looking for a scapegoat, and they thought they find somebody like me very convenient. I was really shocked. But thank God, if you are innocent, that innocency in you is going to be your strength. And I'm a strong believer in my religion. I have no regrets about saying that, even on the TV. I try to be a good Muslim. And I know, I have said it several times, that who am I? Just an ordinary son of nobody that became somebody without really knowing anybody. So it's a test by God. I took it that way, went to court, for 6 years, been in court. There was no single evidence that was provided or laid before the court.
What actually gave you that confidence? Because I see politicians, it's almost the in thing. A politician is accused, and he keeps running, away from justice. But you came out then, I recall, and you said you were ready for the trial.
Yeah.
Why were
because
you so
I know
confident?
I'm innocent. I'm innocent. You see, that allegation was a very serious and grievous one. And the government that planned for it and those individuals that were exposed. At one time, you remember, Suleiman, they were trying, the president formed a committee, and I was dragged into it as a member to, study the security challenges in the Northeast and provide recommendation. We went around and identified those issues and recommended to the government what need to be done in order to nip it by the bud. The government was not satisfied because it has a mindset, so to say. And therefore, as I said, they found me convenient target to be the scapegoat. But unfortunately, that didn't happen because there was nothing. In fact, the person that, Umar Sanda Kunduga, that was alleged to be the spokesman of the Boko Haram came out to deny him. And then secondly, they were, I think, targeting and monitoring him on the phone. They found out later on that he's mentally unstable, and his father came to them to say, this guy is mentally unstable, and these are the few youths that are claiming to be Boko Haram then in order to extort money from people. But the SSS then refused. And the sad thing about it all is that besides the mindset of the government to get a scapegoat, which they think I'm the appropriate one, since I'm running my mouth over the TV and criticizing the government on the way on the approach, they thought, okay, they have somebody that can link up. If not, I was accused of that serious crime. But the boy, I met him at the office of the SSS the first time in my life. The first time. And I remember, and I was honest to tell them that, yeah, I can remember this voice, but I've never seen him. And he called me on the phone once, and that was it. My phone was forensically examined.
So you had to go through all that?
Oh my God, it was terrible. And it's not even my own that worried me then. My children, I had children in school, I have relatives, it was a very scary thing. Then Boko Haram was attacking, taking over, and even getting to the state headquarters, went and blew off the police headquarters, and then blew off Nyanya with so many casualties. So everybody was scared. And there you are with the sponsor.
But were you threatened? Because I recall then you came out to say there was an attempt on your life.
Yeah. I was about to be killed. They tried it several times. One, it was when I was going to Goza to settle the crisis that emanated from the issue of Boko Haram between the Christians and Muslims in my community. I was trying to go and settle them, and I went there, finished the meeting successfully, and I was trying to get to Goza when I was alerted that Boko Haram were attacking a village there. So we were thinking of whether to go back or not and stayed in Pulka. Suddenly the Air Force came and fired at us. And I had a security clearance to move then from the army and the police. I had the army in front and the police at the back of my convoy. But I was the target. And you know, it was a kind of precision shooting. But fortunately for me, and God has just spared my life, because I won't be there to narrate this story. They would have said, oh, he was going for a meeting with Boko Haram, and therefore we fired a shot.